when I work with girls who, and it's mostly girls, I could say men or women, but typically it's women and occasionally it's a man. But when I work with souls, let me be politically correct on that. When I work with other souls that are on the path and they have a desire to be a healer, one of the main things I look into to help them as a guide is how authentic are you? Are you living in your power? Are you living with integrity? Are you speaking your truth? If, for example, you're not and you have stuff to heal and you harass other people who don't do something your way and you try to lash out and scare people with your mean words, or you try to ostracize them in the community because they aren't bowing to you and kissing your butt, this is really out of alignment. And this could happen in any of our lives. Like, we could have a school teacher going through this. You could have a woman who's a therapist going through this. It could be a spiritual healer, like what the work I do that's going through this. It could be a baseball coach. It doesn't matter. But when there's misalignment and there's others that are bullying that person and they are out of alignment and they're in a place where they feel they're in a position of power and control, so then they try to get everyone else to believe in what they're saying, even if it's completely BS, ultimately, you're going to cause your own suffering. You might temporarily trick a few people because, when this happened to me, I kind of laughed at it in a way because I was like, are you kidding me? This is like high school. But I laughed at it in a way because that's how I handle the insanity of humanity, is I have to have a freaking sense of humor. But part of it I looked into and I was just like, what is this about? Like, why do humans do this? And big picture, what I know in my own soul with certain souls that have responded in this way towards me is that I won't kiss their ass. I will not bow to them. I won't go and say, can I please follow you because everyone else says you're a leader? And even though you show me so many signs of woundedness and you show me that you have a lot of misalignment, I'm going to ignore all that. And I'm just going to blindly go ahead and have you lead me. This is what each of us needs to wake up to. And I won't do it. And because I won't do it, there is a consequence. There's often a consequence for a strong, focused soul that will not tolerate abuse. And that consequence can often be beautiful, where you rise and you have a beautiful experience and you only tolerate high vibrational beings that actually will show you honor. And then the ones who want to disrespect you will insult you for that, call you, like one woman said I was like the queen bee, and you just think you're the queen bee, Tanya. I remember my ex-husband just saying, who do you think you are? You're so entitled. And I'm like, really? Is it entitled, or do I love myself? And do I tell you through my own actions that I will not tolerate your abuse? And there is a consequence, because when I chose that, let's go with the ex-husband, when I chose that and I chose to move away from him, he contacted all of my friends, all my family, trying to turn them against me, and was successful with a lot of them. But at a soul level, what I realize is whoever's meant to be in my life and whoever really sees me, whoever really has honor, they will be there and they will pay attention. Like, I had some clients that when this misaligned healer started contacting my clients and trying to turn them against me, luckily my clients, many of them are so aware, and who knows, maybe some of them got contacted and I don't even know about it because they turned and I have no clue about that. But the ones that contacted me were like, Tanya, this person's saying this and it really feels out of alignment to me. But I basically told this person that what feels out of alignment is the way you're doing this. You're sneaking behind Tanya's back and you're contacting me. You're trying to make me afraid of her. That feels really off to me. And maybe you need to contact Tanya and talk to her directly. Several people told this person that. And that to me was refreshing, because I was like, wow, these clients, these souls that I care for so much, they're really paying attention. They are actually practicing everything that I actually taught them, that Spirit brought them into my life for, which was to learn discernment. And so each of us have our tests. And I really look at it as a beautiful perfection to the dance, where I am not here to save everybody. I'm not here to be friends with everybody. Last night in our workshop that we did about clairvoyancy, ultimately being a clairvoyant is something we all have the ability to do. And the reason many of us are not clairvoyant, meaning clear seeing, that we aren't having clear sight, is because we're terrified of seeing truth. We're terrified of seeing the truth of ourselves. We're terrified of seeing the truth of the people that we've attached ourselves to, terrified of seeing the truth of our lives. And as long as we tend to go towards the fear of what we're afraid to see, we won't see. We basically start to put horse blinders on, and we move through our movie very narrow-sighted, and we only see what we want to see. An example with this healing situation I'm talking about, which is actually the opposite of healing, but the healers who are bullying Tanya's scenario. One of these women, I don't even know her, and she came and kind of bulldog bullied me into, you need to meet with our counsel because you're basically not listening to this person. I've known her for years, and she would never do anything hurtful or harmful, and who do you think you are? And I was kind of like, who do you think you are contacting me? You don't know anything about me. And though you know this person so well, you don't understand how they've treated me and that I simply won't tolerate it. And the reason I'm talking about that today is because I realized last night when I spoke truth about this, because for a while I've kind of held it back, and I'm just like, what is my right to speak truth on? Because I have all these people telling me what's ethical, what's not ethical. Here's the thing, we get ourselves in trouble because of our rules, and the rules of ethics are basically teaching us as humans to silence ourselves and that we're not allowed to speak our truth. And when we're not allowed to speak our truth, that is when shit gets off. That's when people bully. That's when manipulation happens. This person that's doing this, I guarantee, really believes that they're on a mission to protect everyone from Tanya, because Tanya just wouldn't kiss her ass. And that's what it really comes down to. And I feel frustration about it, but I feel like today I was like, you know what, I need to say the truth about it and let it go, because I'm not going to feel like I'm losing my voice or my power to people who are out of alignment. And when I spoke last night about how frustrating this is, and that, it really reminds me of high school, energetically, I'm tuning in, okay, what part of me vibrationally is attracted this again? And that's what I'm tuning into at a healing level. And I'm ready to clear it from my vibration in all directions of time, because I really don't enjoy it. But at another level, I look at it and I'm like, no matter how purely I live my life, this is what I've observed my whole existence. You can have the best intention, be the most loving person, and some people just want to hate you, period. And so part of what I feel like I'm helping inspire others in my empath training is we have to get powerful and strong in our truth and not worry so much about what other people think about it. If they lash out at us, if they judge us for it, so be it. Because that is the insanity of humanity. The insanity is that humans are going to turn on other humans that simply don't follow their way. And that is when they are operating from fear. This woman trying to turn my clients against me because I wouldn't let her control me is all about fear. And what's fascinating to me is that this person is influencing so many. But what I see on the planet is that I see how many souls are being manipulated and influenced by the fearful ones, and how few of us are listening to the aligned ones that are actually not operating in fear, but we're speaking truth. We're challenging the fearful ones. We care, like to the depths of my core, I care about all humans and all life. I truly do. I want everyone to find their alignment, their wholeness. But at the same time, as they're on that journey of finding that wholeness and that alignment, I'll be damned if you're going to treat me like your bitch. It's not going to happen. And if that's politically not correct and it's unethical for me to say that, I claim it. I will totally own that, because I experienced this and it's bullshit. And I feel like this bullying crap has to stop. And so whoever's listening to this, I hope this reaches those people that are doing it. I really do, because it would be really great if this just stopped and we could just take a step back, really own our stuff, and realize, you know what, maybe that girl did piss me off because she didn't listen to me and she didn't do what I thought she should do. But really, who the hell am I to think she needs to? And, me speaking on this internet show, whoever's tuning in is who's interested in this. I'm not going door to door pushing it down people's throats. I'm not, at the cashier, in the cashier line and yelling at the cashier, like, you know what you need? You need an aura clearing, lady. There's no way in hell I'm going to do that. And that is fine. There's an alignment in me that I understand that I must honor everyone's path. If I go to help a soul, it could be my family, it could be a client, help them and bring truth to them. And then they hate me for the messages that come through because they don't want to see the truth and they don't want to deal with their stuff. That is a big part of the consequence of being an aligned healer and an assistant for spirit, is that as many times as I've given messages that are loved and honored and appreciated, which is most of the time, there are also people who run by me like, Jesus is the only one for me, and people that are terrified of somebody who actually can see beyond their illusion that they're presenting to the world. And that is a big part of what we all have to heal if we expect to have a healthier planet. Now, by all means, if none of you want that and you want to suffer and you love your chaos, you love your confusion, you love the illusion, you love bullying each other and competing and comparing, and you dig the ego suffering, by all means, continue with it. I truly feel like I'm here as a messenger to help show another way. And if that's not honored or respected, I will accept that. I feel like you think of like Martin Luther King Jr. came to the planet. His mission was to help people see that all humans have a right to be treated with equality. That just because you're black or white does not mean that one of you deserves honor and the other deserves to be treated like shit. He stood in his power with that truth. That was his sole mission. And the planet, a lot of humans were inspired by him and they wanted that wisdom, and many humans felt it was time for that shift. But a lot of humans hated him and despised him because he challenged their bullshit. He shined a light on their hate. He shined a light on how they treated each other. And because of it, somebody decided to go kill him. And the crazy thing is, that's the insanity right there. The insanity of humanity is that someone's going to go shoot this guy for just speaking his truth, speaking up for other human beings to be treated with honor. And what I, as a healer, just at times feel frustration with is watching humanity continue this insane behavior, watching the same crap happen again and again. And what I'm curious about is, when are we going to come to a place where enough is enough? When are we going to be willing to look in the mirror? Each of us look in the mirror. Because when someone's projecting on me and they're being hateful, I'm not just going to blame them. I'm going to observe it and I'm going to say, please get out of my sacred space. But I also will tune into myself. What part of me attracted that? Like at some level, what part of me attracted these women to do this? Maybe there's still some fear that people are going to turn on me for speaking my truth. So thank you, angels, for clearing that. And I feel me speaking this today. This is me out loud to the universe saying, I am done. And I am grateful for this energy to be cleared in all directions of time. You're not scaring me. All of you that are doing this, the ones that have decided to rally up against Tanya, bring it on, because I'm not afraid of you, and I'm going to speak it louder and louder, because I realize in order for this to go away, I have to face it. And today I feel like is the day to face that. And I'm not going to tolerate it anymore. So anybody who wants to lash out at Tanya and hate and negativity, you can go for it, and I will block you. I will move my energy away from you. And I will send you love and light, because what I hope the most for is that you will heal, that you will find your own alignment, and that you will come to a place of peace so that you can actually want peace for others, not want suffering. In my own makeup, I can't even comprehend wanting to go to a place to try to cause such disruption for another personal human soul experience because of my own gain, my own jealousy, competition. It makes no sense to me, but when I observe humanity, that is the woundedness I see happen all over the place. Competition, comparison, it's ridiculous. And what I told a client recently, a person that, we're not seeing eye to eye, this person left my sacred space by my request. And what was interesting is I was told, I don't feel you're honoring me and seeing me and listening to me. You don't come to me for advice. You just want me to come to you. And I was like, interesting, because I don't want you to come to me for anything. If you come to me and ask me questions, and this could be a family member, a client, it doesn't matter. If they come to me they ask me, Tanya, what do you sense about this? I'm going to say what I'm sensing about it. I'm going to tune in and tell you. Now, because you can't handle that wisdom of what